Yeah, I mean, look.
Eloy's still playing?
Yeah, Eloy's still playing. He actually having a decent little season. Yeah.
Hey, Bob.
Yeah. He sucks. Hey, Breeze Nation, what's good? It's your boy Patrick Designer back at it again. Appreciate y'all for tuning in the show. We got a little baseball going on down here.
Hey,
as Eloy Jimenez came up to bat, and we all just were like, oh, God.
Yeah, he sucked for the Sox. He had like a half a year.
He just couldn't stay healthy. Nobody on that team could. Yeah, thanks, Cubs was the only good we had out of them.
Hey, man.
Hey, we beat the Cubs a lot.
We did beat the Cubs with Eloy a lot. Lou Bob plays well against the Cubs.
Yeah.
A lot to get into on today's episode, man. As listen, we got to react to the draft. That was a group here. A big shout out to everybody in the building. Of course, we got Mr. Drew Better. If you knew better, you do better. Say who better?
Nobody,
bro. And the man formerly known as Ringo J. Stefan Nadine is in the building. Boys, listen. Draft came and went. Defensive line was the theme that we thought everyone was going into this draft with, and it seems like not the thing.
It didn't happen.
Didn't happen, right? We take a defensive lineman in the 6th round. That's kind of all we end up going with. And so a lot of people are looking at this and just going, yo, like, this is a failure. We missed on this. Can't believe we did it, yada, yada, yada. But I actually believe that when you break it down, pick by pick, that most of us believe the Chicago Bears nailed this draft, but we don't agree with the philosophy.
You say nailed. I give it a passing grade because I think the only way I would say we nailed it is if we got a defensive tackle or edge that was a disruptor. We got a project in the 6th round. So there, for me, I don't think we nailed it. I think we came away with a positive draft. We came away with great players. It started out, day 1 was great. Day 2 started great. And then it went, boom.
Went off the rails. Yep. RAS score, guys.
And it was like, dude, what are we doing?
Yep. I'm not mad at it. Ringo, your thoughts?
Yeah, I was just looking at it. I'm the same with Drew. Like day 1 was cool. Second pick was cool. You probably got your starting center. Hopefully that happens. But then it was just like after that, it was like I have no clue what's going on, and listen, maybe they know better than us.
Yep.
We did say that we feel like the Bears championship window is open. Hopefully they do know better than us, but as of right now, these games are ending 45-43. And my estimation.
And that is why I wanted to do this exercise where I texted you guys and I said, send me each of your draft grades for the picks and then give me your overall grade, because I wanted to take it. And I did this live on the air when I was live for Sundays or Saturday or Sunday. I think it was Sundays. They had a draft and we were going through all of the picks and I said, okay, how am I grading this? And I put it into a legitimate grade calculator. Okay. Like you would calculate GPA, right?
Yeah.
And I went, okay, this is what I feel like I got as a grade, and this is what it ended up being. So when I went through all of mine, right, I went all the way through. I felt like the Bears had a B- type draft. I think you said a B- as well.
Correct.
I think you said a C+ draft.
C+.
Right? Okay. When I input everything, it said that the Bears had an A- draft for me because of how I felt like the picks moved. So I want to run through this with y'all real quick.
Go ahead.
And let you guys know, based on the grades that you gave me, how your draft grade ended up playing out. So Drew, in the 1st round, you said for Dylan Thieneman, the Chicago Bears, and let me see when you're doing too much at once.
Oh, it's Thieneman.
Dylan Thieneman, I'm sorry. Apologies. So for Dylan Thieneman, Drew, you gave him an A.
I did. I get an A.
2nd round for the center, Logan Jones, you gave him an A.
That's a great pick.
For wide receiver in the 3rd round, you gave him a C.
Didn't need him.
Not a big fan of the wide receiver there.
Didn't need him right there.
Xavier Thomas. For Sam Roush, you went B-.
I did. Solid player. Don't really needed him, but it was a solid player. BPA for Ben Johnson's offense. 2 thumbs up.
I would say BPA means Ben's player available. Yeah, I mean, I heard Tyler Rocky say that today. I feel like that's kind of where we're at.
I'm offensive O'Toole.
I'm offensive O'Toole. That had me dying. For Keyshawn Elliott, you went a C. For Jordan Vanderberg, you went a C. Said your overall grade was a B. So I input it, and here's how I broke it down. 50% for the first round pick. This is how it's weighted here. 50% for the first round pick, 20% for your second round pick. Those are your two most importants. Gave you 15% for the third round pick. I split it between the two. 10% for the fourth round pick, 3% for the fifth round pick, 2%. You get to 100%. Bow, bow, bow. Drew, you actually felt like the Chicago Bears had a 89.9 draft. So yes, a B plus.
Bro, that's actually on the
but essentially basically an A.
That's an A. And I look at it backwards going in, and it's like, did we fulfill some of the needs that we had? Yes. We got great safety in the first. We have our center of the future in the second.
Mm-hmm.
But then in the third round, instead of solidifying the defensive line, it was a few players that we could have still got at the edge or DT to win in the third round, but you went and drafted players that fit Ben Johnson's vision instead of getting to fix the deficiencies, which is my issue. Like, I looked at the players. Yeah, they're a quality player. They're going to be impactful, but they're not the impact that I felt that we needed in the third round.
Sure. And yet it still comes out that you felt that the Bears had an A draft.
That's crazy.
Ringo, you felt the Bears had a C plus draft. You gave them an A for the first round pick, a B plus for Logan Jones. You gave him a C for Sam Roush.
Sam
You
Roush.
gave him a C plus for Xavier Thomas.
Didn't need him.
You gave him a B for Malik Muhammad. You gave him a C for Keyshawn Elliott, and you gave him a C for Jared Vanderberg. A lot of C's in there, but some C pluses in there as well. Put yours in there. You actually felt like they had an 86.9, which is a B draft.
That's a B plus. 86 is a B plus, bro.
I used to say 88's B plus, but it depends on the grading curve.
Correct.
Listen. Is that maybe gonna work? Are all these players gonna hit for Ben Johnson?
Yep. Or no? We'll see. We'll see. I don't know.
Possibly.
Yes.
Did they need some of those players at those positions? No, because I'm still looking at it from the fact you needed defense. That they because I was talking to Drew about this. The one thing I'm always gonna do is rely on what you told me. So what Ryan Poles said was, hey, we're gonna get faster, which they did. I like the defensive moves they made, especially with the safeties in the secondary and everything like that. But the other thing you also said at the end of the season presser was, hey, being a cardiac bear was cool. I'm not trying to do that again. How do we not do that again? By trying to get pressure. So, in my estimation, it's like these games, like I said, are going to end 45-43 because there's no pressure. And it's like I was telling Drew, if you ask any primetime DB, any old DB, any DB that's in the Hall of Fame, the average time to cover is about 3 seconds. You have no pressure, so it's like, bro, I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Hey, and like I said, hopefully they know better than me.
Yeah.
Now, that's where I'm at with it.
Here's my favorite one, because Kid gave us a full breakdown that I'm not going to give y'all for context because there's a lot to read on here. Round 1, Kid gave, he ended up giving Thieneman an A. He gave round 2 an A plus for the center. Round 3, he went B minus for the Xavier Thomas. He went a C minus for the tight end, said you just don't need him. He went a B for Malik, good upside player. He went with a B minus for the linebacker Elliott, and he went with a C plus for the defensive tackle, saying, feel like he is he's a project player, but good upside, right? Gave the draft a B- overall. He felt that was his overall grade.
That's A.
So, when I put it into the grade calculator, 90.7 actually comes out as an A- for what he feels. And my point in all of the in doing this entire exercise is this. I think that there is a lot that was done in this draft that we look at and we say, we don't agree with how this is done. But then you start to look at the players that were taken and we all go, but I see how he fits. I see where he works. I see the talent he has. I understand what you're doing here. I don't like what happened in the third round, but I know how Sam Roush is going to be utilized in this offense. I know how Xavier Thomas is going to be utilized in this offense. And I think that our issue is not with the draft. And the real question is, do we believe that Ryan Pohl's philosophy is going to be successful? Because it seems like, and he said this in the press conference, his philosophy is we can cover long enough for us to be successful because of the DBs that we got. But we're going to make sure that this offense hits the ground running. And we have seen teams do this in the past. I'm not saying we have seen teams do this and win championships or win Super Bowls and things like that, which is the ultimate goal. But we have seen it once, and I wonder if he's building it like that first Chiefs team that won the Super Bowl.
He's building it like yeah, I could definitely I definitely understand and agree with Ben Johnson saying that we can cover enough. But I don't want to be covering enough because there's great defenses that we're going to have to play where we are not going to be able to score as freely. Yep. So we're going to need to have a defense that can keep us in the game because weather has a play in your passing game.
Yep.
So your defense needs to be able to show up. Like, yeah, we were gashed on the rushing lanes last year.
100%.
So therefore we needed
we were bottom of the pack in rushing, bottom of the pack in passing last year.
Exactly. So we needed somebody like, yeah, I love the offense being able to hit the ground running. I love the offense being able to outscore teams like Cincinnati does when Joe Burrow is healthy. When the Chiefs back in the day, when the defense only needed to make 1 or 2 stops a game and they will win. But I want a more even-keeled defense versus offense where if my offense is not hitting this game, my defense is able to keep us in the game until the offense gets on track. Like how many times last year?
Didn't we see that at times last year?
We did, but we were talking about this off air that we're not for us to do that. We needed the defense to be leading the league in turnovers. Could that possibly happen again? Yes, because a lot of the teams
it'd be tough.
It'd be tough.
Yeah, that would be tough for you to lead the league in turnovers.
A lot of players that led the league are not on the team anymore. We have new ball hawks this year.
Yeah.
So therefore, it is possible for us to lead the league again, but it's just not likely. So I want the defensive pressure to bring in and elevate our sack numbers instead of having
big sack guy.
Yeah, big sack guy. Instead of having our defensive backs being more of the strength of our defense.
Yeah, and the thing is, even to that point with what you said about him possibly building out that Chiefs team, because I think that Chiefs team had
Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah,
that's kind of
Tyrann Mathieu,
Chris Jones.
The corner that went to, he got traded to Tennessee.
Snead.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Snead.
Yeah, Snead. But the biggest thing is that they still had Chris Jones, and Tyrann and Chris Jones up that middle. Like it's
you gotta have a stud. You don't have to have enough. You don't have to have a lot.
Different,
you
bro.
One and one.
It's just different. Like that's a premium position, and the fact that you don't have that, like. The Bears hang their hat on, when they get to playoff time and you come down here later in the year, it's gonna be snowing. These boys gonna be cold. They're not gonna want to tackle. Hey, these boys gonna be running the ball.
Yeah.
and you have nothing to show me that you're gonna be able to stop that.
And this is why I ask y'all: is your beef with the draft or is your beef with the philosophy? Because the philosophy is Ben Johnson's philosophy. The philosophy is, and this is how I feel like it comes off. If we are more successful earlier in games completing the passes, if we are more successful executing the offense, we don't get into those situations that we were in last season. If we are more successful at converting on the turnovers that the defense gives us, let's say the defense only gives us, how many turnovers we have last year? 30 some turnovers, something like that.
It was 37.
We led the NFL in turnovers. Let's say this next year the turnovers do drop off and we only get 21. But you score on 80% of those turnovers. You're having a different conversation on how you're viewing that defense now, because that defense is turning into an offense that create points. Again, I think how we left this draft, and it's why, like today, if you listen to the Bears pod, if you listen to this morning show that I did, I was confused. Like, I literally just felt confused because I was like, that's not a bad player. You got a starting. We're going to be 5 years down the road and we're going to be like, you got a starting safety. You got the best center in the draft. You got what could be truly your replacement DB in Malik Muhammad for Tyreek, or we'll see how life goes. Maybe for Jalen, right? You still got Zay Frazier on the roster. Like you got a blocking tight end that you know how he's going to fit into the offense. Maybe you took him early. I'm not going to say you didn't. I think it was a reach. I think the wide receiver was absolutely a reach. And you got both of them in the third round, but I see how both of them fit. I think we're going to get 5 years down the road and we're going to say all of those guys worked in some capacity in Ben Johnson's offense. I think the beef that a lot of Chicagoans are having today is you don't agree with the philosophy that the Bears are coming with, which, number one, I respect what Ben Johnson said. At the end of the day, we got to coach better. We didn't put them in the best position to be successful. Do I agree with that? I don't know. But I do like the fact that he's saying, Dennis Allen, you got to be better. Your defensive line couldn't get to the quarterback. That's a you issue, not a them issue.
But my issue is that, yes, I do impose we trust, and Ben we trust, but I'm just my personal opinion is that they can't coach what they don't have. You got to have some form of talent. So we had very limited talent on the defensive line, to me, that we passed on Romeo Height. We passed on Chris McClyon.
Yeah.
We passed on Dominique Orange.
Yeah.
We passed
Wasn't EMW there too?
Jay Sean
we got a
Barham.
safety already.
We passed on. Those are 4 names that we passed on. Are all of them players going to be impactful? No. But we passed on players that could fit the needs that we have. Like, yeah, I know we needed a tight end, but I think we could have got a blocking tight end in the free agent, even the undrafted free agent.
Yeah.
I think we could have got we could have gotten a gadget guy to go along in Ben Johnson's offense. I think we could have got him in the later rounds. Like, you could have, instead of having
the wide receiver, I feel like you definitely could have gotten in later rounds.
Instead of taking a 6th-round project as a rusher, you could have took the 6th-round project as a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So for me I do think that the coaching has the coaching better, but I just don't think that they have enough talent for the coaching to matter to the extent that Ben Johnson thinks it's going to.
And listen, I think, Drew is 100% right. Like, dude, I can only go so far with what you give me. If you give me, like, I can only do so much. Like you know what it is. What it is literally like, just to translate this to basketball for a second. Eric Spoelstra, that second Miami team,
mm-hmm.
he took them all the way to the finals. Okay, he got Jimmy, but it's like, okay, after that, it's like they only doing so much.
Yeah,
they leave, and then it's like, now we know that all these players that these was phenomenal role players, they ain't did nothing. So it's like I can only go so far with what you give me, because at some point I need not even a premium edge rusher or anything like that. I need something solid.
But you know what? I think it's too tough to compare it to the NBA, because I think that the difference in the NBA is, and you know my philosophy on this, talent over coaching in the NBA. You give 100%. Me great talent.
You can throw any coach out there.
You can throw any coach in there. It is coaching over talent in the NFL.
But you got to have some talent, though. You got to have some.
Are we saying that there is no talent on this defense? That's what I'm saying. I don't think that we're living in a world where there's no talent on this defense. I do think that we're living in a world where you needed to elevate the defensive line talent. But I think, again, we need to go back to, is the issue the philosophy that the Bears are taking? Because it seems like the stance that the Bears are taking was, what we had on this defensive line should have been good enough, especially if it was healthy. What we have in the DB room, you should feel is good enough. What we have in the safety room is definitely above average. What you have in your linebacker room is above average. Your linebackers and your safeties are probably the two best units on the team right now. I'm not saying I fully agree with this mindset, but I think that our issue is not with how the draft went down. I would say Ryan Poles did a heck of a job with getting Ben Johnson the kind of players he wanted. But I would also say, I don't know if I'm rolling with the philosophy of, hey, we got defensive linemen on this team that's making money. I don't want one. It is still I think it is okay to say this is a weird draft, but it's also okay to say you got a lot of talent in this draft that we're going to look back and say is starters.
Possibly. I would not say that they're starters, but we also could say we passed on starters.
Dylan is starting.
Right, Dylan is starting. Definitely.
The Logan Jones is probably going to end up starting.
He probably next year.
This year, next year. But you know he's just center of the future.
Exactly. So, but for me, you got Bill
and Malik too.
Malik is probably going to be a starter. Yeah.
So right now we just saying, just on the defensive line, you got
Montez, Grady.
You got Grady.
Javon.
You got Javon.
Shamar.
Austin and Dio. So for me,
Neville Gallimore, who you added, who's definitely going to help you in the run game.
Yeah.
But for me, I feel that some of these potential guys that was available in the third round are going to be better than a motivated Dio. They're going to be put in a better position to use than Austin Booker. Like, even though we love Austin Booker, he didn't get in until week 6 or 7.
And when he was banged up, they didn't want to bring him back.
Exactly. So my point in this is, if you obviously Dennis Allen has a problem with certain people on the team, you're going to bring him something, draft him something that he feels that he can use to get a better some better productivity out of the line. Because we got good linebackers, we got great DBs. But you can't cover for more than 3 to 5 seconds.
Yeah.
You have to get pressure. You don't have to be. It's great to get instantaneous pressure, but you got to get some pressure. Like, sometimes it's cover sacks. Yeah, where's our cover sacks? We hardly ever get cover sacks. We get, when Montez,
we get 8 seconds and somehow Brock Purdy still throws a touchdown.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So, right, because we got this great defensive backfield, and great linebackers. We should be getting cover sacks when at 5 seconds, someone should be sacking the quarterback. I feel that we could have got somebody that could help the defensive line instead of the gadget guys, even though they're going to help the offense. To me, the offense wasn't as big of an issue than the defensive line, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's the conversation that we're having. I think that's the question that we're asking. I love this. He said, YBS said, what y'all boys been up to? I haven't seen y'all live in a while. We are live every day on this channel, brother. What have you been up to, dog? We are live every single day here. But no, like I think that is where you have to say, and maybe this is whether this is the right philosophy or it's not, whether this is what the Bears want to do or it's not. I think that it is tough to say that it's tough to say in Poles we trust, it's tough to say in Ben we trust, and then say, but why did you draft players that fit the philosophy you trying to roll with? Now, do I agree with it? Probably not. I would go with what has worked in the NFL for years. You build in the trenches, usually good things happen. Teams that win Super Bowl, usually pretty good on both sides of the trenches. I would have rather you address that, and I felt like you were in a draft where those players were available to you. I know a lot of people look at, what happened. I would rather have the best blocking tight end. I saw this coming. I'd rather have the best blocking tight end than the 12th best pass rusher. Well, you're assuming that he's the 12th best pass rusher. You know what I mean? I would rather have a guy that I think is going to be impactful on both lines. But Ben Johnson is also looking at it and saying, I'm without my starting left tackle this year. If I get a blocking tight end in here that's elite at it and is much better and can help Braxton Jones and or could be Cole Kmet, or I'm trying to think of who's the
Eagle Man.
The other, Theo, of course, but who's the tackle we brought in? Braxton, or who's I can't think of the tackle that we brought in.
No, I wasn't.
I can't. Let me look it up.
He was on the Browns. Chad, help me out here. Y'all know what I'm talking about though. Like, I need somebody that's gonna help that guy out. You know what I mean? Like, I get the philosophy. I think it's just tough as Bears fans for a lot of people to agree 100% with the philosophy. Because it is a philosophy that we haven't seen be the norm and we haven't seen work a ton. But I will say this as well. That philosophy that won you a Super Bowl, Jedrick Wills, thank you to Rogue or Rouge. I will say this as well, though. It is a philosophy that the Chiefs were able to win with, and then they immediately said, we have to get better on the defensive line. It took time for them to build that defense that eventually morphed into that. It wasn't overnight. And it is a weird conversation to say. Like, I feel like we can come out of this and tell me if after the conversation we just had here, and then I do want to talk about some of the UDFAs that were made available. After the conversation we just had here, does it not feel to you that Ryan Poles kind of nailed this draft, but also that it's for a philosophy that we don't know if we fully are on board with yet?
I can agree with that because I'm just looking at it and it's like the Bears are going to put up points. Like I wouldn't be surprised if
they're gonna be better in the passing game.
Yes.
They're gonna be better in the running game. Like
they're gonna be putting up points. My thing is like I need 2 stops. Are you going to be able to give me 2 stops?
That's the thing, right? When you 3rd and 9 and you got to get off the field,
like,
are we going to have enough pressure to get off the field?
That's the thing. And the other thing, because I heard somebody bring this out because just adding this to the conversation. You can never really like have like too many pass rushers at that. Cause it's like, dude, at the end of the day, with these quarterbacks, and it's like you said, getting down to that 3rd and 9. If I got that time, I'm finna obliterate you.
Yeah.
The reason why the Eagles won that chip a couple years back, Patrick Mahomes had no time to throw.
Yeah.
Like you saw, like, even to that point, the Giants with their draft, they went from the inside out.
By the way, I get credit. That was a heck of a draft.
John Harbaugh is doing
they
his
might
thing.
be firing Schoen.
I'm okay with that.
That was crazy. I was like, you gonna let him draft and then fire him?
I'm okay. No, because those were Harbaugh. You could tell those were Harbaugh picks. So
why? Because they're good.
100%.
Yeah. Like no, because it was from the inside out. He liked the trenches. This is probably the best offensive line talent wise we've had in a minute. So yeah. But no, it's one of them things where it's like, are you going to be able to give me 2 stops at the end of the game? We get to the NFC Championship game and you run back into a Matthew Stafford. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then it's like
be able to make stops. That is 100% true.
Yeah.
But we're really only talking about 4 games where they didn't.
So let me ask you a question. So everybody's talking about the philosophy. We haven't had philosophy. We haven't had coaching. We haven't had this.
Mm-hmm.
what other Super Bowl caliber team has been built this way that actually worked?
Chiefs. That's probably the only one I can really give you.
No, they didn't. No, you can't say that because you had Chris Jones was a top 5. What philosophy where we have had all defensive backs where we had not a top that team did not have a top 10 rusher.
The Bengals made the Super Bowl.
They also had the number 1 guy that had Trey Hendrickson.
But they just had good third down defense.
Team was defensively was not great.
But
they got beat a lot defense. Like they had to go out there and put up 45.
But they still had the one guy that can make the play on third down. We don't have that guy. So that's my point. So what team has went to the Super Bowl where they had a guy that was top 10 that could come in, get that one sack that you need, that one pressure, because he's done it multiple times. Like I give you the Chiefs done it.
Yeah.
Like Chris Jones has done it multiple times where he came in, they needed a play, he made that play, and they was able to win.
Yeah.
The Bears don't have that guy. So what team has went to the Super Bowl
on that defense?
Huh?
What year was Chris Jones drafted?
Ooh, he's been there for a while.
Is Chris Jones on that team?
Oh yeah. The first one?
The first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
So my point is, like, can we name a team?
I was looking at that defense. It's Chris Jones. It's Tyrann Mathieu. Bashad Breeland.
No, they had a linebacker that was pretty good too.
Bolden.
He was a safety.
Tano Passanio was on that team. If you're a big Tano Passanio guy, he was on the Bears.
You talking about the linebacker? I think you're talking about Bolden.
Bolden. Yeah, he stepped up and made some plays too. That's my point. Like, I don't think we
Kendall Fuller.
I don't think we have that guy that can make that play on third down when you need it. And I figured that we might have been able to find that in the draft. So that's what I say. Everybody's talking about, our what they're looking for the Bears to do. You know, and I see that we have a defensive backfield, but we don't have enough on the defensive line.
I don't disagree. I think that the D-line needs more. I think that the D-line is not good enough. I think that if we're being honest, and if most Bears fans are being honest with themselves, they are building or at least mentally thinking about this D-line being successful off of a lot of hope. I hope that Austin Booker improves. I hope that Montez Sweat creates more pressure. I hope that Grady Jarrett is healthy this year, because I think if Grady Jarrett is healthy, you're going to be better up front. I hope that Neville Gallimore continues to be a really good run stuffer. I hope that Shamar Turner, the flashes that he was showing at the end were more real than not. I mean, like, what you're building, how this team is playing on, is a lot of hope right now.
A lot of if was a fifth.
There's a lot of if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk.
A lot of it.
And so that's why I say I think the philosophy is the one that comes into question. But I also think the Bears go into this and say there are 4 games last year that got completely out of hand and we had no chance of winning. The Detroit game was a debacle from the beginning. The San Francisco game was a shootout, and if you get one stop in that game, you might end up winning that game, although you did get a turnover that you didn't take advantage of. And so maybe they look at that more. If you get the Buffalo game, or not the Buffalo, the Baltimore game, when, why am I blanking on what's oh boy?
But what happened?
You know, the backup came in instead of Lamar.
Huntley.
Tyler Huntley comes in and he cooks us, puts up 30. And I think that's probably why you saw them want to go out there and get more speed. We couldn't contain a single rushing quarterback all season. And so there were times where the defensive line was creating pressure. And then the quarterback would take off and be like, well, I don't know what to do with that. He's gone.
I know, but what happens on the other side? Like, what happens, let's just say the Iceman not able to do his Iceman things. Right, doesn't come if I didn't want to say that was a pause.
Yeah, I knew you didn't. I knew you didn't.
Yeah. But what happens if he doesn't catch oh my God, what's the wide receiver? Rome on that one play on the left-hand side to win that game.
We lose.
What if we don't what if Colston Loveland doesn't break that tackle up the middle where he scores a touchdown.
We lose.
What happened if Luther doesn't catch that ball and DJ doesn't come flying across the middle and catches these wonderful touchdowns and nobody even saw him going?
We lose.
So exactly.
Those are miracle plays, but I think what happens if, just to counter that, what happens if the Bears play a brand of offense that looks like it did in the last 5 minutes of that game in the first quarter?
We blow a lot of people out.
What happens if the Bears go out?
One-dimensional.
What happens if the Bears go out versus Cincinnati and they get to Joe Flacco and take advantage of those turnovers early? What happens if we see a team play like they did in that Dallas game where they actually went out there and shut down that Dallas offense that was phenomenal all year? And then on the flip side, they went out and they played a heck of a game offensively, right? Like, I give the one thing that I'll say, and again, I think we kind of agree with this. I don't think anybody in Chicago agrees with the philosophy of don't put good defensive line on there. And when we say, we gotta say this as well. When we say invest in the defensive line, we're not talking about spend money. We're talking about invest in players that you feel are talented on the defensive line. I love Grady Jarrett. I really do. I've loved him his whole career.
Yeah.
I am glad he's a Bear because I think a lot of those comebacks come from the mindset that Grady Jarrett instills in that team on the defensive side, just like Joe Thuney on the offensive side. But let's be 100% real. You paid him a lot of money as old as he is.
Yeah, we did.
Montez Sweat is overpaid for who he is.
100%.
Yeah.
As you said before, he's the worst 10-sack guy.
I ain't gonna say ever, but he's the worst 10-sack guy probably in the league. You got to get more pressures, right? Like, You can look at these pieces and say that you invested. A motivated Dayo Dangbo isn't an investment in success, though. That's what we mean when we say invested. I'm not talking about throwing money at it. I'm saying, are you investing in success? I think there is not a single Bears fan whose philosophy is don't invest in successful defensive players that you can see they are in this point in their life where they are going to make an impact on the quarterback.
Correct.
But that's the path the Bears have chosen. All the names that were out there this offseason, and I'm not mad you didn't go out there and spend money on Jalen Phillips. $120 million is crazy.
It was. We wanted him.
I wanted him, and then they said 120, and I was like, I don't want him.
With that injury history, that was nuts.
So it's like
a lot of them definitely you respect Poles for him not going in and being paranoid and overspending and putting us in cap situations where we can't come away from it.
Yeah.
Because right now he restructured on Thursday to free up some money.
Yep.
He's going to restructure Cole Kmet potentially.
He did already. Cole and Jonah were the two restructures.
I thought he had one more. Right, it wasn't Cole. I think it was one more that we could restructure.
There's another one potentially that we could restructure. There's a couple of players that might be a candidate for that.
It's a potential for us to bring in somebody at the trading deadline. But for me, I do love the way that he didn't overreact and just throw money at the problem, where he's making it a little bit more strategic. But at the same time, I do think that he should have spent money in the draft.
I love Automation Max's comment here, because I think this is truly, when we talk about philosophy and all that, this is what it comes down to. Ben Johnson wants to play with a lead. That's what this draft was all about. And also, you lost your starting center.
Correct.
You had to address that. I love the fact that you went out and you got Logan Jones. But Ben Johnson wants to play with a lead. That's what this draft is all about. I think you hit the nail on the head there. And we'll see. Listen, I don't know if this is going to work or not. I don't know if it's gonna work.
I'm just because I understand that he wants to play with a lead, but you know how you play with a lead? If they get a start, you can keep the lead and then keep growing the lead.
But here's the thing: that Bears had a lot of opportunity to break teams that they didn't take advantage of. You can break a team.
That's true.
You can 100% break a team if they turn the football over and you put up 7 on their head and don't go field goals. You can 110% get a team. That Minnesota team that we played last year.
Oh, y'all shouldn't have split against them.
We was up. We smacked them. If we score one more time, and it's a wrap. So
but if we continue to play the way we played in the first half in that first game, in the second half,
It's a blowout.
We destroy them if we continue to play the way that we played in the second half of the second game in the first half. We destroy them. They didn't have the talent to compete with us. And so there were those games available to you, and the Bears truly just did not take advantage of a lot of those moments.
You're 100% right, but it's the fact of most NFL teams is built to we want to play with the lead, because if you look at those Detroit years when Ben was there, when they had the lead, they were unstoppable. But when they didn't have the lead, they struggled.
No, but the one thing that's helping them out, even with that, because even when they had the lead, the minute they got up 14, it was like, oh, okay, well, we got 2 All-Pros on the offensive line. Hey, Jahmyr Gibbs, take this ball.
We finna run you out of here. We finna run you out the building.
Which to that point, I like the Roush pickup. But again, it's like on that defense, I can't help but worry.
But think about this, Ringo. Think about this. And listen, I'm not going to say it doesn't. You have to pay the piper at some point, right? Like the Lions got into the playoffs. They didn't have kind of the defense to keep combating. They kept throwing the football. They lose that game. We know the rest is history. They never get to a Super Bowl. They lost just about every single defensive player they had that year.
They did. They
that defense was getting shot in the kneecap.
Yeah.
Every other day. I literally went, there's no way you can compete with no one out there. And Aaron Glenn got a head coaching job.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Because he held that defense together enough, and Ben could put up 40.
With paper mache. He had a paper mache defense.
And Ben could put up 40.
Ben could put up points.
I'm not saying that that's what you want. I'm not saying that that's what the Bears have. But I think that the philosophy and the mindset of, if I can put my foot on your throat and choke you out before you have a chance to try and fight back, is something that Ben Johnson has seen. It's something he's experienced. It's something that he's won a ton of games with. Now, the problem is, right, the injuries piled up to the point where you had to pay the piper.
Yeah.
You got in that playoff game versus San Fran, I think that was?
Nah, San Fran is the one they smoked. It's Philly you thinking of. Because San Fran is the one they smoked. Because that's when
That's what I'm saying, the one that they lost. What's the game they lost? They lost versus San Fran, right?
Oh, you talking about when they was up?
When they were up.
Oh, yeah, that's San Fran.
They lost versus San Fran.
Yeah.
You had to pay the piper eventually, and it just got to a point where it was like, well, the offense ain't moving right. The defense is garbage right now, and there's nothing we can do to stop these guys. We're in trouble. I don't think that's what the Bears are looking to go out there and build. I don't think that's what the Bears have built. But I do think that there is a real conversation to be had, that the mindset and the philosophy that this Bears team is coming with is, hey, if we just outscore y'all, or if we beat y'all into submission, it's over. And I think we saw that even with the close games last year.
Time of possession about to be crazy this year,
better be.
bro.
It better be. I tell you what.
It should be no more 3 and outs. With him getting the tight end and a wide receiver, it better not be no 3 and outs.
It better not be a 3. I better see. We better be the. I guess you wouldn't lead the league. What would that be? You would be. We better be at the bottom of the league and 3 and outs this season with this philosophy.
It is they about
we should be leading the league in TOP.
Did they lose? No, he's right. Who said that? I'm famous. Said they lost to Washington. They lost to Washington because it was the Jaden Daniels comeback.
Want to see nothing but top.
Okay.
Time of possession. I love Mad Top.
I want Mad Top.
I want Mad Top.
You know I'm a fan of Top.
Yeah, man.
Top is where it's at.
Yeah.
Top is my favorite hobby.
Can't go wrong with some good top.
Can't go wrong with top.
We're talking about time of possession, of course.
Phenomenal Top.
Calm down, Chad. We're talking about time of possession. What did he say? He said, Ben Johnson, honestly, to use a Rocky reference, he wants to be the team version of Drago. I must break you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's weird, right? That's not a world we used to living in.
No.
We have never lived in this world a day. There's not a Chicago Bears fan alive that has lived in this world.
This is what offense looks like.
Really?
Because you had 1 year Nagy.
I need you 15. Like, get the defense to 15, and we doing great.
That's true. Because I think in the last 15 or 20 years, I think we've only had 2 offensive coordinators that was like, wasn't even top tier. They were like mid, but for us, they were great. So we finally have a head coach.
Top OCs.
Yeah. No, we didn't. Because you had Nagy for the 1 year because he was the top of the line coming out of KC. That first year,
Martz,
that first
but
year,
it fell off.
That's Mike calling. That's real.
Mike Martz was playing.
He's playing Madden in real
Mike
life.
Martz was playing Madden, bro. I don't care what nobody said.
Hey, that's what Ben Johnson about to be doing. You laughing?
Hey, Ben Johnson was doing it last year. What you mean about to be? Ben Johnson was in a 4th and 32 on his own 6 and said running.
Y'all might as well forget about the kicker and the punter, bro. You might as well forget about the kicker and the punter. He is not playing.
Peter Lewinsky says, saying top is my favorite hobby deserves a pause. Top ain't no hobby. Yeah, listen up.
For me, it's a hobby. Something I like to do quite often, which is part of your hobby, is having my top of possession.
Right, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Respectfully.
Yes.
Bear down. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Show love. Hit the like button, subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Let's finish it out with this, boys, because there was a bunch of UDFAs. And by the way, we're going to go through each of the UDFAs that were brought in for the Chicago Bears. There's also minicamp invites. We're not going to do that today, but I'll break each one down, going through a video on them. And of course, we'll be watching their tape over on the Patreons to tap in on the Patreon side as well. Hold on. There it is. It's back. Some signings that the Bears made. UDFAs, Jaron Kump. Calm down, guys. Caden Barnett. Miller Moss, who's probably my favorite. Caleb Williams, former backup quarterback.
I was just about to.
What is Dylan Cease on, bro?
Throwing the ball away.
Dylan Cease is tweaking out here, bro. He just died for a baseball. What's happening right now?
He just threw it up the middle on a pickoff play.
He is having a bad day. Miller Moss. I don't know what's going on here. KC.
Easy.
Easy. Eziome, cornerback. Gabriel Palencia, which kicker out of San Diego State, who we've been hearing about for a while. Nice leg on that guy. Is that a pause?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. No. Coleman Bennett out of Kennesaw State, running back. Skylar Thompson, safety out of Oregon State. Hayden Large, tight end out of Iowa. You can't go wrong with a tight end out of Iowa. Jaden Loving, defensive lineman out of Wake Forest. Squirrel White.
Squirrel.
Do with that what you want. Wide receiver out of Florida State. Hey, listen, we all just squirrel trying to find a nut, ain't we?
Yeah, you know it.
Bo Gardner. I'm sorry. Out of Georgia. Omari Kelly, wide receiver out of Michigan State. And Mason Murphy, offensive tackle out of Auburn. And then some of the minicamp invites. Dane Walter, I should say, offensive lineman out of UW La Crosse. Josh Kreutz. Son of Olin Kreutz.
I was about to say that was the most important one.
Out of Illinois. Terrell Tillman, defensive end out of Texas. Devin Pringle, DB out of UConn. Any relation to Byron? Was a big Byron Pringle smile guy when he showed up, just because he smiled. Everybody was messing with him just because he smiled. Christian Vaughn, running back out of Hawaii. Jax Harrington, offensive lineman out of Louisiana. Jaheim Ward, DB out of Eastern Kentucky. DJ Harris, DB out of Youngstown State. Wayne Matthews, linebacker out of Michigan State. And LaShawn Williams, a running back out of Kansas. Boys, before we get up out of here, who's your favorite right now, undrafted free agent that the Bears went out there and grabbed?
For me, that's not necessarily. I don't have a
or minicamp invite.
I don't. Minicamp invite is Josh Kreutz. I love a little.
You gotta hope for the Kreutz.
It will have to be Kreutz.
To be a backup. Yeah. I know he's not going to be your starter because
it will have to be Kreutz.
You took him, but for me, it's Kreutz because it's like that guy. I loved him. I loved his dad.
Yeah.
As a center, he was the best player on the offensive line. He was a leader, and if he could get any of those traits and be a backup, I'll take it. That was, for me, is great. The rest of those guys, you see what they kind of bring to the team. I don't really know too many of them, but Kreutz, when I found out that we signed him, I was like, yes, there we go.
So Miller, I'm with the I like Kreutz as far as the minicamp invites, but Miller Moss, he was He was
Miller Moss was
decent.
solid.
Yeah,
He was solid.
He was
I ain't gonna say
decent.
great. He was solid.
Yeah, he was decent at SC. This makes me wonder: is the only thing I'm tripping off now is Tyson Beijing? Like, he cooked.
I would say he's cooked, but I do think there's a conversation.
Because
I think we're waiting for the deal.
This is the thing.
It got to be the right deal for the Bears to move off of him. But there's a conversation.
I think he's able to run that offense that Ben Johnson has. So I'm not. I wouldn't be totally out on him. It would suck to see him go though. It would suck to see him go. But Miller Moss, in terms of the undrafted free agents, that's my pick.
I'll be honest with you. It's Miller Moss for me too, but Josh Kreutz is the one that intrigues me the most because I wonder what he's going to look like with NFL coaching behind him. I don't think he's ready. I would expect him, unfortunately, to be cut by the time we get to the training camp and things like that.
Practice squad?
No, because here's the thing. Josh has the training, but I think he doesn't have the size. And he doesn't utilize it well. I watched a lot of Illinois football this year.
Good football team.
Good football team.
Good football
Beats
team.
Good football team.
You know what I mean? But
calm down.
Josh got moved around. You know what I mean? Like it's not a like I love Olin. And I want his son to be great in the NFL. Josh got moved around in college.
Maybe he did. Maybe it wasn't the right strength and conditioning coach. It might be a little bit. He needed to change his technique a little bit, maybe get a little lower pad level.
Yeah.
And so this things.
That's why I want to see him with Roshar.
Right. This is things that he could be taught. So that's why I'm thinking that he could be our swing, a backup center because you want that nepotism. Love that for the guy.
Oh, I love me some nepotism. I don't love 6'2", 290.
Put him on the steak.
You know what I mean, Drew? Like
put him with Mr. Meaty.
Drew,
Put him with Mr. Meaty.
Let's be real. You know what I mean? Like that was you at your heaviest.
Yeah.
And then he on the
that was you at your heaviest. Like
Mr. Meaty, and I sure wasn't no center.
You know what I'm saying?
So what's like the ideal like weight? Like
3 plus. You need just center 3.
Obviously
315 with light feet.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. I would say light feet,
I was gonna say 325.
But I would say, listen, it's a pause. I understand it. A meaty backside. You know what I mean? Like you gotta be able to anchor.
Okay.
Yeah, because 290, you got some tight ends that's 290. You talk about the center of your offensive line. It's only 290.
Tyler Warren, hold on.
Like I said, you need, like I said, you need to have a little meaty backside. Yeah, I was going to say you're going to need a good anchor. You're going to have to.
Well, you did say a tight end.
I did. Hey, call it what you want right there. But yeah, but you look at where the quality centers are 3+ with light feet and good movement. So
Alice said, is Logan small? Logan is small. Logan is, he's tall, right? He's 6'2", 300.
300, right?
But that extra 10 pounds of starting makes a difference.
Tyler Warren, 256.
Also, he's got the technique. I think that's kind of the conversation as well, right? Like you've seen Logan with the technique. You've seen Logan be able to go out there and set his anchor and be able to move people and be the best offensive lineman in college. You know what I mean? So I think it's a different conversation. I haven't seen Josh do that. I watched a lot of Illinois football. I watched him get moved a lot. I watched him be the reason that, our quarterback was running for his life. So it's like, it's not all on him, but I would love to see what he looks like with NFL development. And maybe if you're talking about a future career, I think Josh Kreutz could play at the NFL. Just got to get a little heavier. And he's young. He's young.
He's young.
Going to the right spot to do it. We got restaurants all over the place.
You got some guys. He's going to eat. He's going to get a little bigger.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got restaurants all over the place.
I watched a lot of football, but I wasn't focused on the center as much. I was looking at more of the defense and
I was locked in on him because he was Olin's son.
I saw him. Like I said, I didn't really look at a deep dive into him. But if you are got potential, because obviously he got potential,
he does,
and he could be developed. There's a lot of centers that come in 6-7 round undrafted with after 3 or 4 years of development become starting starting centers, quality centers.
Right.
So that could be him. Come here, learn under the expert tutelage, and then get yourself out there and make a name for yourself as a center in 2 or 3 years.
What is the before we get up out of here? What's the one pick that y'all hated seeing going to someone else this weekend that the Bears didn't end up grabbing? I got mine off rip. If you got to think of one,
Yeah.
Danny Dennis-Sutton to the Packers about to be a problem. That's gonna be tough.
No, that's a problem.
That's gonna be tough to deal with because I viewed him as a number 2. I view Danny Dennis-Sutton as Montez Sweat replacement. And as a number 2, he's gonna be phenomenal next to Micah Parsons. I was really upset by that. That one was tough.
Let me see. For me, it was. I don't know. I really didn't have a person that missed.
Wasn't a defensive lineman that you were like, dang it, how did we not get him?
No, not we should have gotten him. I think for me, it was the fact that we didn't trade up in the first round, even though I love Thieneman. We love Thieneman. When Bain dropped, I was like, okay, let's go get him. So for me, it was more or less not trading up in the first round, because we didn't have to give up that much draft capital to go up and get a guy like that, which would have definitely made our defensive line better. So for me, that would be probably my pick, that we didn't trade up, not that we passed on.
I'll say the corner opposite of the corner opposite of Colton Hood, because he was a first round talent. I think he actually wound up going to the Raiders. I feel like if the Bears would have,
you're talking about Jermad McCoy.
Yeah. I feel like
I'm cool on that one.
Was he injury prone?
Did you see what I put in the chat?
I think it was injury prone.
Did you see the bone plug thing that he got?
Yeah. He was injury prone.
But they were saying first round talent, but his I think they said his medicals came back.
Bro, that bone plug is crazy.
Just like that boy, the wide receiver, I think it's Travion, Tyron, whatever his name is, the wide receiver, phenomenal talent. Injury prone, ACL, MCL, PCL. Then it was an ankle after that, or a hamstring, one of the two. It was like phenomenal talent, but if you injury prone like that, you just can't. Yeah. So I like the guy that you're talking about, but he was just Jermad McCoy. I'm afraid of that one.
They said Jermad McCoy, if he has if he ends up getting another, if he has to have another bone plug put in, his career's over.
Oh man,
like it's over.
Yeah. Cause they would.
I get the Raiders taking them at that point, and it probably would have gotten to a point where the Bears might have had to take. I kind of was glad the decision wasn't made for us.
Yeah, cause that's what I was thinking when he's on the board. I'm like, okay, like I could see this being a potential pickup, but yeah,
bone plug is crazy, bro.
That's crazy. Nah,
like we gonna take a piece of your bone from a part of your and ligament from a part of your body that's not stabilizing and put it there, just so you can walk again. Like that's crazy, bro. I hope that he doesn't need the surgery. I hope he has all success with the Raiders, and I hope Danny Dennis-Sutton is Mike Green. That's all I can hope for, bro. I was sick. That one went by, bro. I said, no. What's that one where he said, no, God, no, please.
Hey, 100%, bro.
Yeah.
He is going to be a problem, but I didn't think the Bears was going to get him, so that's why I didn't say it like that.
Danny Dennis-Sutton?
Yeah.
He went. He went 2 picks before us,
right? That's what I said. Yeah. So we didn't have a chance at him. So that's why I wasn't tripping. They kind of
got screwed out of a lot of the D linemen that we thought they were going to get. Like I thought they were going to go get a Gabe Jacas.
Yeah,
Jacas.
He went early.
He went right 2 picks before him. Patriots traded up to go get him.
That's what I'm talking about. He went before us.
Patriots traded up to go get him. Danny Dennis-Sutton traded up to go get him.
We traded up twice. You can't trade up every time. So that's why I was like, I'm not really upset at any of the people trading up to get him in front of us.
Yeah,
because that happened in plenty of drafts where plenty of players it happened in this draft because it was the wide receiver that was going to Pittsburgh. He was on the phone with Pittsburgh.
Dude, nah, that was dirty.
He was on the phone with Pittsburgh,
and then they traded him.
Yeah.
Then they traded him.
Then somebody, right, they traded right in front of them, picked him up in Pittsburgh. He's on the phone. He's like, yo, I got to go Pittsburgh. And he picked up an agent. They was getting traded. So that's why I wasn't tripping about that. But with the Bears not trading, potentially trading up for Bain, that's why I was like, you know.
Yeah. Because
Big Bear said Pat was high on Mike Green last year. I was. He sucked.
He was supposed to be good, bro.
He sucked.
He was supposed to be good.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. I couldn't even find intangibles watching his tape this year. I was like, this mug getting manhandled at this level.
It is. But
Thank God the Bears didn't draft
but
him.
they said the one thing now, he's like, this is the Lions season was before the draft, and after this season, it's everybody's gonna be
it's on paper.
Everybody's gonna be an all-star.
It's on paper
and
season.
It's gonna be some people that are bust.
Who
oh yeah.
Who is the one where y'all like I'm just glad like we didn't touch him at all?
Zion Young.
So you still not.
Here's the tough part about it, because where'd he go? He ended up going to
they said Ravens.
He went to the Ravens. The tough part about this is
they build defensive lines.
I don't like Zion Young here. And this may sound very weird. I don't like Zion Young here because I think the pressure on him would have been be the best pass rusher on this defense, because he's a pure pass rusher in my mind. But I think I love him there. I think I love him with the Ravens.
Baltimore, yeah.
Zion Young was the one, though, when it was taken out of our hands. But I also say this. When the Bears were, if Zion Young had failed to the Bears at 57 or at any point in the second round, I wouldn't have been mad at it. Because now you're not attaching that fifth year to it.
Yeah.
Now it's not the pressure of, hey, you have to be the face of it. Like, as a second round pick, like if he turns into our second best pass rusher 5 years down the road, nobody is out on him. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's like, oh my God. But if there's one that I'm glad that the Bears kind of avoided, it's probably Zion Young.
I wanted him. I wanted, because I like this upside that, you know, with everybody keeps talking about the Bears coaching. So this is now when we get to take those, not full projects, but those people that have a little bit of the issue, and the coach can fix those issues.
But I like that in the second round.
I don't
like that in the first round.
Me either.
Well, where they could have got him was the first round.
I'm not taking him in the first round.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
Zion Young.
Right. Second round, like you said. Second round,
Keldrick Folk.
Yeah.
I'm good. I say this, as I would rather have Zion Young 10 days out of 10 than Keldrick Folk.
Oh, you think he that bad?
Because here's my thing, right? This is what people keep telling me. And again, like y'all know, I now I'm to the point where I sit there and I watch tape. Everybody keep telling me that Keldrick Folk is this elite pass rusher. And then I watch the games that he plays in. And I'm just like, when?
I said,
I was waiting. Like they was, because this is the thing. Y'all know I'm not like tapped into every college football game every Saturday. So like I was like, okay, like it's gotta come eventually. Oh, maybe this was the week. Then I'm going to PFF grade games where he's like playing his best game. And I'm like, okay, this is best PFF game. And I'm like, hey, bro, like I don't see a pass rusher here at all.
Well, I'm like, he can't make it.
Like it was cool. Like, I'm not gonna say he had no games, but I didn't feel like he was a dominant force that you had to have week in and week out.
Right? You don't feel like he was that dog.
I did not feel like he was a dog.
No dog.
I didn't feel like he was
no
a dog.
dog.
Hey, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Hit that like. Make sure that y'all stay tapped in with us as well on everything that we do. He said, you made a full 15-minute video about Zion Young, and now you don't want it. I never wanted Zion Young.
I think that was JC. I think JC.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I think JC. JC did a deep dive in all of the players, so it wasn't necessarily that we wanted him. He just given us pre-draft information.
I don't know what's his name.
Pre-draft.
Come on, bro. You did a full 15-minute video on him. Like,
No, that was JC.
I said the entire time. I think that he gets stuck on the edge way too often.
You did. That's
what I hope happens with the Ravens.
That's what
he gets stuck on that edge. I hope the Ravens. I wish the Ravens nothing but failure and bad times.
Because I'm a Steelers fan. Yes, indeed. I hope he does get stuck on the edge.
Yeah, I wish the Ravens nothing but bad times, and I hope all the bad things in life happen to you and only you. Because y'all did Max dirty.
Very much.
Y'all did Max dirty.
But you know what? It is still a chance that we get Max.
Hey, man, it's the Out the Mud podcast. Hey, boy. Hey, man, hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. For Mr. Drew Better, if you knew better, you do better. Say who better? Nobody, bro. Of course, the man formerly known as Ringo J. Stefan Adana. This your boy, Pat the Designer. Back at it again. Y'all stay safe out of Chicago. Bed down with love. Peace. He said, so you're saying there's still a chance.
There is a chance, bro.
There is no chance, brother.
It is. It's still a chance.
What's the chance?
It's from the none, but it's still a chance.
Okay, all right.
Like 15%. Like 15%.
15?
Yeah, because his price is gonna be too high. But if we in the Super Bowl with him, I'll give up 2 first-round picks. That's gonna be 28 to 32.
Nah, they finna keep
not 2027 draft. 2027 draft is crazy.
The only thing I can see out there, y'all might get Kayvon Thibodeau.
Oh, we definitely not trading for him. I ain't giving up a third for him.
I give up a 6.
I ain't giving up a